what about some animals? I think that seems like a good thing to make over in this video. I have a few piled up. A few are broken, or a couple are broken. So they need to be fixed. Some just need to be repainted. So maybe it makes me think of spring if I start to do animals, because it is so wintry. I'm over winter and it's only the 1st of February. Got a couple broken, got some that need to be repainted. And I really want to see what I can do with that rocking horse. I'm not taking the tail off, but I just thought, like, to give it some more age. I mean, there's so much coolness to it. I can put all this stuff back on. Oh, look at it! It comes right off anyway. I guess we don't even really have to worry about that. You know, painting around stuff's not as fun, and I think I can just attach it back on. Maybe give it a little bit more age. Looks like it's just a pillow. Now for the tail, I'm just going to put it in a Ziploc. Hold your horses. I think since these are screwed on, I don't even think that they're glued. I want to paint the horse one color, and I want to paint this. I'm not going to paint it all the same color. So why not, if I can, take those off? Those cases, it's got to get worse before it can get better thing. See, told you, wasn't even glued. Yeah, it's just weird painting over fabric. I can take them off. I'm going to. Oh, there you go. Okay, just shellac in the can. This is just going to help the paint that I'm going to put on bond. Even though I am a distressed chippy look person, I still want to attract the paint. And there's just too many angles I don't want to accidentally sand off that gave it the shape of the horse's body. Not sure if this next step is going to work or not, but the burgundy, it still looks burgundy. So I get that last nail off. So I'm going to see if I have some watered down Waverly wax with black ink chalk paint from the same company, Waverly. And I thought, I don't know. I know there's cotton in there, but I don't want to disturb it. Will it do anything? I'm not sure. It's a little bit on the brittle side. Then I have to wait for everything else to dry, so let that dry. I'm going to do flour sack for the body, and then suitcase for the rocker part. I had to do that to figure out rocker, which is not going to be easy to paint, but we'll see how it goes. Yes, flour sack and suitcase. Did I say suitcase? They have a brown. I don't use a brown very often, but they do have a brown. The classic white horse. I don't think. Yeah, it's a pretty color actually. With the right waxing on it, sometimes it looks leathery, which is like, that's why I'm like, can I change the color of the pieces of fabric, the pleather? that's on there. It's not real leather, it's leather. Can't hurt to try. So if you've not used milk paint, you see that it is a powder paint. You mix with water. It's just room temperature tap water. It's just easier to pour it out of a plastic container like that. And then you mix and mix and mix and mix and mix. Scrape your sides, scrape the bottom, making sure that you get it all incorporated. I like to have mine on the thicker side. So instead of equal parts of water, I tone it down by, just a little, like a quarter of my mixture. Sometimes it's too thick, sometimes it's too thin. If you add powder while you've already mixed it up, a lot of times you're going to get chunkiness, which I don't know. I call that character also. So yeah, I was glad that I could take these off. That just does definitely make it easier to paint. Actually, it's hard to tell where I've been because it's, this is brown, that's burgundy. Kind of blendy. Kind of a big guy. I mean, it is, but it's not. Like, okay, where's my plan of attack here? How do I start painting this? Flip him over. Horse flipping. I think it's cow tipping. I don't think that's horse tipping. Well, anyway. There. Okay, he's all painted. As you can see through the paint, it's going to need a second coat. You can just tell there's not enough paint when you see other paint underneath. Even though it's doing amazing crackles, I need to go in with that second coat. It's got it. Though I'm going to try to sand it. I don't want to go crazy, but we'll see how it hand sands. Sometimes it's on there and it doesn't like to come off very well. Like I want some of the chippiness. I want this to look like it's been well loved and played with. I do feel like he needs to have some type of eyeballs. So this is how I got him sanded. I did end up using the little mouse sander to help me along, save my hand. So now I just have some Cold Fusion black. Just gonna make some. I'm gonna distress some, but burgundy shows through. The burgundy shows through. It's all good. Some Jolie's black wax, and like I said, whatever chipped off, chipped off. One whole side chipped off. You never know. But it's supposed to look old, so that's the whole point. And this will really tie it all together. Suitcase does really well with the black wax. Ink. This is what it looks like now that it's dried. I'm going to do a little bit of the black wax. Just go right over the top of it. Oh yeah. Yeah, I like that. Let's see if I can distress those eyeballs a little bit. To wax, to seal everything in, I'm going to start off with Fusion's clear wax. Some aging wax. Just give them spots of it. And see what happens. I'm doing it. Now to put it back together. When your air gun decides that I'm going to put 20 staples in there, I'm leaving it. I'm just going to put some paint on it. Are you serious? What the heck was it thinking? Sometimes things just happen and you just have to roll with it. Like, seriously. I just have some fusion chocolate paint. Just tap, tap, tap on those. That way the black doesn't stand out as much. The black would stand out more. And the 101 staples that thought it needed to go in here. Seriously. So I actually picked these up in somebody's antique booth. It was $5 for the set. And I thought I was getting a wonderful deal, which I did. But then I realized the tag didn't say as is or anything, that this was broken. So that was kind of a bummer. I always tried to put, and maybe they didn't notice themselves. I'm not sure. So to fix it, not that I'm going to build it up with bondo. So see how this one has a point? And I know you could do air dry clay. There's other things you could do, but I know that I can sculpt with a sander bondo, and I know how strong it is. So that's what I'm going to give a try, making up some bondo while it's drying. Bondo, I use it as a wood filler, but we'll see how this fix goes. I'm just winging it here. I've used it to fix many things. So just, it's got a putty, and then you mix it with the hardener. As soon as you mix it with the hardener, it starts to harden. So I'm thinking, let's get it on here. I'm gonna put a piece of tape. Maybe double the tape up. Just have something to cup it and kind of hold it. Why it's 5-10 minutes. It should be cured enough that I can do some sanding on it and shape it. What? Wait, what? Look at it. See? I've got something now I can sand to make the tip of the swan. The tape helped hold that up, so it's not terribly bad on the one side. So I'm just going to get the sander and gingerly start working on it. So yeah, bondo to build the little tailback. I'm very impressed. Like I'm going with the guide here. Like how much would it broke off? It may be a tad bit longer, but the shape's there. Shape's matching the other one. So I'm not going to, we're going to weave it. that's how I feel about that. I never mind buying broken things if I think I can fix them. So I'm just taking a little rubbing alcohol. I'm gonna make sure we get tags off the bottom. These just have painted on eyes. The shellac. Yeah, I could have just sold them as is if it wasn't for the broken tail. I didn't notice the broken tail until I got home, so. So for the little guys, I'm not pairing these up. These are a separate pair, and the bigger one that I did in the video are a separate pair, or a separate one. Totally two different styles going on. For these, I'm going to do the flour sack by Sweet Pickins. There's just something about a classic white swan. And they looked white until you get white next to them, right? Like, well, that. And that's just a different distressing. Then I'll deal with the bottom after we get all this, after it's done. They already look so much better, especially when he has a tail. It looks so much better with his finished tail. Remember, whatever chips, it's meant to be. You got to do the bills yet, but I want to get everything sanded. Black for the bill. I always think, oh, I can just leave it out and not paint it. But then I end up getting white on it. So then I end up having to repaint it anyway. Such a cute little bear. Let's see if I can get a little bit of distressing. A little bit of clear wax over the entire thing. I'm not sure why I didn't put gloves on, but take some of that same bondo, even though it looks like in the film that I'm, to glue this piece back on. That, yes, no, bondo sets up in 5 to 10 minutes. So since I made so much, I might as well glue this little guy's leg back on with bondo. I guess I should use a little bit of tape to kind of apply some pressure just to hold it. So the question is, did bondo work to glue the leg back on? Yep, it did. I just have a little bit of sanding. I knew that I've done it before. Now that I did some leg replacement surgery, I'm just going to go ahead and try to wipe this down a little bit with some rubbing alcohol. So we're going to do a little something different. I've done so many of these. I love doing them. I'm actually going to spray paint it with pistachio. This is a paint and primer, so we'll see what it looks like. Okay, now I gotta flip them over and we gotta get the other side. Now that my sheep are looking a little green, I sealed everything with shellac because I do want to layer. I'm going to layer a chippy just because it's fun to play. Mixed up a new batch of flour sack, just my go-to white. It is. And we're just going to go ahead and get it on. I'm sure it's going to take too close, especially on this shiny surface. But I didn't know of how well it would bond to because the crayon kind of has a top coat in it. It has a top coat in it. So I wasn't sure, like I probably should do some shellacs, you know, what I know was it's going to bond to. It's just fun to play, experiment and see what happens. I've done black underneath. I'm dying for spring to come and visit us. The groundhog saw his shadow, right? So that means 6 more weeks. It's going to be 6 weeks calendar anyway, but may not have my ducks in a row, but I got my sheep. Look at, you can see the green underneath there. I wasn't sure if you'd be able to or not. So I'm going to take some 80 grit sandpaper, sand a little bit. I mean, times you just don't know. It's just supposed to look like an old planter. Not pristine. Kind of have it distressed the way I want. Some of the gray came through. That's wonderful. I'm going to seal it in with weather defense, and then we're still going to do like a brown wax on it. It's fun in the green, very spring-like on this very snowy Michigan day. So I have Fusion's aging wax. I want to see what that's going to do. I sealed it in clear coat. Oh, that's fun. So I usually always fill these up, and they actually 4 of the Dollar General flower foam fits perfectly in here this way. All depends, because sometimes there's like extra pieces, you know, from the manufacturer. You know, when you go to say something like that and then you're like, nope, look at it. it doesn't fit. Nope, because there's a little extra piece in there. Gotta make it fit though. There you go. I am definitely feeling springish, so I'm going to put some of the Dollar General moss on here. I'm going to be putting these on top, so that'll help keep it down. Order these online, and then you can get these little picks from Walmart or any probably floral section, or you can use hairpins. But I said, I need some green. It's been a long winter. Think spring, think spring. These are such sweet little birds, but I think we can make them a little bit better. So first off, I'm going to take some lemon oil. There's little things on the bottom of them. If I'm going to paint them, I'm not going to paint over those. And then probably where the tag was. A little bit of lemon oil works really fast to release that sticky. That I've used oil on them, I kind of need to get the oil off, so I'm just going to use rubbing alcohol. I want to do a crackle age effect, like they've weathered. Not going to, I mean, I can't really, so I'm setting them, even though this is the fine line one, I need something to set them on. I need to varnish. I'm not painting them. They already have beautiful color, and then when we use the crackle, we'll do a wax over it. So I think just go ahead and put a clear varnish on them. Do like something clear over my top coat or something like that. With the crackle, I get better effect, I guess. And it is recommended by the Pentart manufacturer, aka Sarah from Piglet's Closet. Said, hey, do this. I'm like, oh, okay. So we're just using this clear varnish. Unfortunately, you got to let it sit on something, so can't necessarily do the bottom. We know these aren't 100 years old, so we just want to give them a different look. Because as cute as I thought they were when I picked them up, I'm like, oh, I've seen these out and about a lot, so they're very mass produced, very mass produced. So time to change them. Now I'm good. My next step is to do the art crackle. There's a 1 and a 2, so we're going to do the 1 now. It kind of looks like Elmer's glue. Took about an hour for the varnish to dry. And you want to make sure you get it on everywhere. There again, I'm not doing the bottom. This is just a paint job, not authentic. Time for the second part where the magic happens. Just put it over the second coat everywhere. And then somehow a chemical reaction happens that you get all these amazing little crackles. If I did everything right. I know I've got some thick spots that dripped, but I'm just going to take it for what it is. Perfectly imperfect. Now what's really crazy is it's really hard for you all to see the crackles. And then I'm going to be using some of the Pentart aging. And then look at that. There they are. Crazy, isn't it? How those two combinations. It's not a quick process because it takes like an hour in between coats. I mean, it does say that you can hit it with a heat gun, but I'm always working on other projects, so I'm not in that big of a rush. But look at that, see? Wipe on, wipe off. See if I can get that sticky to come off. Yep, sometimes a heat gun works. Actually, there's the signature. Well, they put it over the signature. shellac so my paint will stick on it, even though it's a nice, I mean, it's not terrible color. Now I want to do flour sack on this one also. I like the crackles, but I am going to do a little bit of the Sweet Pickins beeswax just here and there. Thinking about where it might be touched. Whether it'll work or not, I'm not really sure, but we'll find out. Okay, I think we got it on. You can't see it, so it's a guessing game. There again, I'll clean up the bottom when, or do something with the bottom once I get it all done. But this has lots of fun texture. I think it's a hollow resin piece, even though, you know, the sign pieces are resin. I mean, Jim Shore pieces, it's resin. Just gives you an idea if you see an animal out and about when you're thrifting and you're like, it's just not, it's not, you know, it's not quite there. It's not what you want to paint. We can paint it. Oh, that's not pretty. Oh, okay. I need to do the beak yet, but I also need to sand. So 220 sandpaper. And then remember, I put some wax on there. We'll see if anything comes off or not. If it doesn't, if it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You just never know. I don't know. I thought that was kind of pretty, the old look. And then I'm not painting in on the person's name. I do think this is 94 now. So, can't wax it yet until I do the beak. Go black. I could try to do, even if I do lantern, which is the milk paint, it doesn't really chip all that much on this small of space. So this is what we'll do. I'm just going to distress the beak just a little bit. Some clear Fusion's wax. And seal the milk paint in. The way it crackled, and you can see that underneath, I think is good. I don't think it needs any aging wax or anything like that. I love the way it did that. Thought more would chip off, but hey, take what you're given.